Two teams and two VIPs, but only one way to score. This is VIP Fiesta by Courage. It's the US factions of Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2, facing off on Arica Harbour with 24 players and random loadouts. Die and you'll redeploy with an all-new loadout. Track down that enemy VIP and make it count.
Cleared and under control.
Or bring the power of 2042 to Caspian border and take on the forces of 1942. This is Quality versus Quantity by Gabitron. A small squad from 2042 are taking on 32 players from 1942. The future's got the hardware, but the past's got the numbers. Destroy those MCOMs. But do it before your tickets are up. You're not getting them back unless you clear the sector. Not enough memes? Fine. Set up on Orbital for the fight of your lives with Robot Man by Redacted. 20 duck-sized EOD bots, 1 horse-sized T-91. Settle your battlefield debates on who wins what.
So we got
and take on the.
We've gotten some insight as to what the portal mode of Battlefield 2142 looks like, and I cannot wait. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of different loadouts that you can do. You know, here's Arica Harbour. This is like a game mode that somebody has set up, and it just looks really nice. Like, it's so nice to see some Battlefield Bad Company 2 maps in 2042. Like, I cannot wait for this game mode. It's gonna be so cool. The amount of cool stuff you could do. Like, you could put Battlefield 3 units. So like the Americans versus the Battlefield Bad Company 2 Russians. Or if they add other nations to the game, like Battlefield 2, you could use all those nations that come with it, and you could make like your own unique game mode, which incorporates all different types of battlefields. For me, I wish there was a map editor. But I'm sure at some point one Battlefield game will come with a map editor. It's not even, you don't even need to implement a map editor. I think even, because I know that with this Portal game mode thing, that you're going to be able to, when you can create your own stuff, you're going to be able to pick what part of the map is playable and stuff. So I'm wondering if maybe like DICE could have this tool that you could see this sort of area that you have selected, and then maybe have, rather than a whole map editor tool, why not just prefabs like buildings and shit that you could place maybe outside of the map, for example, and make that a playable area. Kind of a little bit how that Battlefield 3 mod team is doing it, kind of by editing certain stuff and, you know, certain ways about it. Instead of making a whole new map, you can make a whole new map, but in a map that already exists in the game. With that said though, I mean, I think this is the best mode that Battlefield 2142 is going to offer so far. I mean, don't get me wrong, I look forward to just normal multiplayer, but for me, I do believe what they should do with these maps is obviously the ones from Battlefield 3 and the ones from Battlefield by Company 2. Those maps I think would also be usable within the main multiplayer, so that you could still play these maps on the main multiplayer as well as Portal. Because I think that by having these extra maps, it's gonna make it even more fun. Because you could easily say that this is, you know, some African town that is, you know, the way it is, it's not so bad. It doesn't look so far from the original start date of the game. So I think it would fit into the normal map rotation, hopefully. You know, all these gadgets and stuff like that though really do look cool. I cannot wait to play this map in this engine, and you know, there's a lot of other tweaking stuff you can do with the Portal. It's gonna come with its own tools, so you can, you know, say that in a way it's gonna be like a rented server as well, because you're gonna be able to say, hey, no, no snipers or shotguns or this or that, or only snipers, or only knife versus defibrillator. You could also do that. I do believe that soon we will be able to play it at some point. Obviously in the beta stages, because I think it's first gotta go for a closed alpha, and then it'll be like an open beta in September, I think people are saying, so we'll have to see to that. Probably somewhere in the middle, midway through September, maybe when it drops. And then obviously in October it's releasing. Obviously if you get the I forgot what editions of the game, but if you, it's not the base version, but if you buy the next one, you get access to the game on the 15th. You get early access to the game on the 15th, and you get the 4 seasonal battle passes. So what I want to see is, you know, I cannot wait to play this, because obviously, I mean, if you look at this game mode, what this guy has done is he's put all of the American Battlefield by Company 2 versus the Battlefield 3 American team against each other. So it's interesting to see that, actually. But now this next one is going to be Caspian border with Rush, and it's going to be like, you know, this special squad of 4 people versus like 30 something of the other team, and they're all in the old German World War II uniforms and shit. And yeah, as a squad you gotta survive or something. This guy made this game mode. Quality versus quantity. And I'd also like to elaborate that obviously other people in the community like Flakfire has said that it's gonna be cool to see how like 15 Shermans versus 1 Tiger will be, and see if it can stand out. And I look really forward to trying cool stuff out. Even Robot Man is quite funny too. But here, as you can see, you've got 20 players from the Battlefield 3 Russian team with no vehicles, so all of them are in EOD bots, and then you've got this one guy in a tank from 2042. So it's gonna be an interesting thing to see how that works out. I mean, here we can see that vehicle upgrades will be returning in a much more exciting way, like much more how I think Battlefield 4 had them and Battlefield 3 had them. It's gonna turn out more like that. It's quite cool. It's quite a cool game mode. I'm really excited, and I applaud you guys for doing such a good job. I mean, here, I mean, if you just think about it, right, on this map, right, if you can't see the tower and you have like the game mode, so it's like TDM and it's around the forest area, just think about how much fun you can have in like a forest World War II gunfight. But it's gonna be hard to tell on how, you know, how flexible the tools are and how easy they are to use, because I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty hard for certain people if they want to go in depth with it. I just hope it's a bit easier to use and it's not all code, you know. I hope it's been noobified a little bit, because, you know, certain people will find it hard to use. So we just have to see, really, you know, and hope that it is what we think it is. So this is clearly an AI, right? And it's you know, you can tell somewhat. And here we have like the old classic, old school. We have the old school kind of thing here as well. Can't wait. I just would come sooner, but we're gonna have to wait on that, and obviously we're still waiting to find out what that new game mode is. You can't wait.